Yes! I'm so freaking pumped right now. I knew I could do it. It was just a matter of time and effort and, of course, RNG. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. We're talking Hydra today. And let's go ahead and check in with our clan. Oath of Conquest. Shout out, my dudes. I'm so happy to be here. Let's go ahead and collect our traditional clan boss. I only had time to run Ultra Nightmare apparently yesterday, but we get a Sacred Shard and an Ancient Shard. Now, what we're actually talking about today is, that's right, the Hydra. One key on hard. Here's the team we did it with. I have tons of information for you, okay? If you're trying to replicate this strategy, literally the only thing you need is Inquisitor Shamael and champions who do an A1 damage. A1 AoE. Okay? Oboro technically does A1 AoE. We'll get over that in a second. Geomancer was very disappointing. He did not use the majority of his kit. The only thing he used was the fact that his A1 attacks all enemies. That's it. Alright, now, this run started off and I was like, it's not the best. Okay, so then I wasn't going to record it. And then, number two, I realized I was doing this on my phone, which obviously I can't record it on my phone in the same way. So, what I ended up doing was taking some pictures along the way. So, let's get into that. Alright, so, the first picture that I have here is turn count 16. Let me tell you what happened up until then, okay? So, on turn count 0, you have one champion that goes above 220 speed. For me, that was Sill of the Drakes. I don't even know if my cursor shows up here. But I'm pointing at Sill of the Drakes right now. So Sill of the Drakes goes on like 225, I think. And the Hydra heads go on, the fastest one goes on 220. So if I had another copy of these champions, obviously I would use them. Actually, I'm curious. Can you use them on different difficulties? No, you cannot. Okay, well, I think that's the biggest downfall of the Hydra, is not being able to use the same champions twice. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments below, and how you like this team. Give me your feedback. How's the Hydra going for you? I want to know your strategies for using and beating the Hydra. In the next 2 days in my free time, which is going to be very little, it's going to be my goal to find a team to one key normal that is accessible. I know that there are some other ones out there, but I'm working on my own that hopefully will be good. So, here's where we're at with hard, okay? Turn 0. Sill of the Drakes goes on 225. She does her AoE, but it doesn't matter. You just need an attack that targets the head of torment, okay, the one with the green arrow on it. That's the one that does the fears. When you attack it, it puts the fears on your champions. Inquisitor Shamael cleanses them, and then all of your champions have the deterrence mastery. Let me just flip over to the actual game and put the deterrence mastery on screen. Some of you will not be familiar with the name of that mastery, and that is because who cares about the names of the masteries? Okay, this one, Deterrence. 20% chance to counterattack an enemy when they apply fear or true fear. And that's the reason why this team works. Okay, so when that happens, that's going to cascade a series of counterattacks from all of your champions, okay? Also, whoever's in the first spot, in my case, one of the Senacious is in the leader spot. She is going to get a billion extra attacks because Shamael will increase her turn meter every turn. Every time all of this stuff happens, it will increase her turn meter, okay? And then she will get a bunch of extra turns. She will keep doing AoEs. That will target all of the heads. The fear will keep proccing. He will keep cleansing. Everyone will keep counterattacking. Okay. Now, I don't have Relentless on any of these champions, but it will be a lot easier to reach these goals and do these things. It works really well if you're able to put Relentless on these champions. I didn't have the silver to do that. I didn't realize or think about Relentless until after I had everybody geared, okay? I used millions and millions and millions of silver. I actually think I saved up 20 million silver, and I used all of that on re-gearing this team specifically. I also changed masteries on all these champions and got masteries on these champions and leveled up these champions. So it's been a really busy week for this strategy bringing this video to you. I have tried to record this video many times. I have been waiting for the right RNG, and we're going to talk about that as well, because this is not like you go in here, do it once. That's not how this works, unfortunately. Okay, but I'll tell you what you need in order to make that happen, okay? So, after all of that happens, what's going to happen is the Head of Torment is going to die, most likely, okay? If you're using a Boro to get the defense down on the A1, then it's very difficult to not get the defense down on this head, okay? On the Head of Torment, the second one from the left. Because, like, there's just going to be so many counterattacks, and, like, Shamail is going to be slow to fill that bar up with poisons. But if you can get decreased defense on the other three heads, and no decreased defense on the Head of Torment, that's the best, okay? That's not what happened for me. I got decreased defense on him, and I killed that head, okay? Then after I killed that head, what happened was it respawned with that same head. You have to have the same head respawn. If the Head of Torment does not respawn, you just do your free regroup and back out, okay? Because that's the only thing that's making this work. This is all based off the Head of Torment, and whenever Hydra rotation number 2 comes, probably in January, what's going to happen is we're going to find new strategies for that rotation, okay? And then we're going to find new strategies for Hydra rotation number 3, and etc., okay? This is the one that works best for the Fear Head, which is Torment, okay? Or aka the blue one, right? It's blue, it looks blue, it has the tentacles, like... Anyway, once he respawns, you're in a great spot, because you won't have decreased defense on him, but you will have decreased defense on everyone else. Now, when he respawned, you can see here, that's when I started taking pictures, okay? This is turn count 16, so a bunch of stuff happened. They got turns. One of my Senacious died. I revived her with Syl. That's why Syl's in the team, is because Syl can revive, and I found that I wasn't making it to this point on turn 16 without a reviver, so I needed Syl in the team. But honestly, I have attack percentage chests on almost everybody here, all of the A1 champions, and I don't think that that's necessary. I think we could do like HP percent chests on some of these champions, or HP percent boots, something like that. But they're all very slow except for Scylla the Drakes and Shamail, I think. I forget what gear I have on Shamail, honestly, because I've tried so many different combinations, but we'll go over that in a second. So, once you get that head to respawn, then you're in a perfect spot, okay? And you can see I did not get decreased defense on him, but I did get decreased defense on everybody else. And then, once I got decreased defense on everybody else, then I was able to kill the 2 other heads, as you see in the picture, okay? After the 2 heads were killed, that's when your damage starts ramping up, because they take a lot of damage. And since since you are constantly counterattacking and putting on piles of damage, then what's going to happen is you keep ramping and ramping and ramping and ramping, okay? So that was turn count 16. You can see that I'm still in the same position on turn count 20, where some people have taken turns. One of the heads took a turn, but both of the heads are still dead, and we're at 20 million damage, okay? Then you can see that on turn count 22, which is 22 minutes into the fight, we are over our 1 key for hard. One of the heads respawned. The head of torment is still not dead yet. And then once that head of torment dies a second time, then you are kind of like wrapping up your fight. You have to have things go super lucky if you're going to stay alive for a 3rd rotation, but you would have to get the RNG right for that head popping up again. So theoretically, you could use this strategy on Brutal as well, I think. Obviously, we don't have Brutal unlocked on my clan yet because we haven't taken it down. So I would not be able to test it there. At some point, I will be able to test it there. When that is, I don't know. So, and you can see the head, like with decreased speed, if you can get that onto any of the husks of the heads, then they're not going to respawn very quickly at all. Let's see, in the last pictures, do we have decreased speed? What about here? At some point, I had decreased speed on them, and then and that helped slow their progress of taking turns. I mean, I was on like the 2 heads decapitated back here. I was on 2 heads decapitated for like 10 minutes. And that's how I got the majority of the damage, okay? So then we progress, we get the 1 key, I'm freaking out, and then eventually the head of torment in the middle there dies. Okay, so the only head that never died was the other head in the middle here, which I forget the name of, okay? And then once that head of torment dies, then things start going downhill, okay? Oboro died. She's the squishiest one. She needs more HP 100%. She was a liability in every fight. Now you can see all of the heads are respawned and we're in a bad spot. Who got eaten? Geomancer got eaten. And Oboro died. And then the second Senesha died. And then another champion, the first Senesha died, and Scylla the Drakes got eaten. 2 champions got eaten, and then it was down to Inquisitor Shamail. We made it only until turn count 46, but the turn count does not matter. It only matters the damage that you get. We ended up with 28.28. The first Senesha got 11 million damage. She's the one taking all the turns. The other Senesha 6. Geo did 4. Inquisitor Shamail, you want to do as little damage as possible. Like, honestly, I think taking War Master off of him might be a better idea. I'm going to test it probably. I think I will test it, but not, once the Hydra resets, okay? So, let's hide this. Let's show you all of the information that you need about the champions. All the masteries look like this, okay? So if I go this way, that's my alarm. There's War Master, and then we have coming down to deterrence over here like I had on screen. Obviously, you want, like, the retribution as well, okay? Just in case you want the retribution. That can proc as well. And I found Life Drinker to be very important. Like, I gained from low health all the way to full health from Life Drinker procs. Okay, I honestly did. And then I think that if we had Rejuvenation as well, instead of Heart of Glory, I think if we had Life Drinker Rejuvenation on everybody, I think that that would be the best, because Rejuvenation should actually proc from Life Drinker, which is actually very helpful. Okay, so let's take a look at the champions and the builds. As you can see on Scylla the Drakes, we have 223 speed, which is just above the Hydra head. And other than that, this is my normal Syl build. I changed the boots and the helmet to make her be that fast. And then I will probably leave it that way or switch her back to her slower build with higher HP. I'm not sure. Inquisitor Shamail, you can see that I removed his crit damage gloves, but he still has a lot of crit rate built in. He has defense percent and accuracy. The only reason why he has accuracy is that was the chest that I felt like I needed. I don't remember why. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know how he ended up with an accuracy chest. I don't remember the reasoning there. Sorry about it. I'm pretty sure I had cruel crit damage. And so that made the cruel set in the original build. I'm not 100% sure. This should definitely be HP percent or defense percent. The accuracy is unimportant in every way, okay? Geo, you can see, is decked out in high attack, 4100, 100, 200. Again, I'm not sure that's necessary. I feel like instead of all my champions having attack percentage, one of those could be HP or defense to keep them alive better. And then, oh, I do have Senacia in Relentless. Oh, awesome. I only have one of them in Relentless. Okay. Well, I have one of the Senacias in Relentless. And then, again, with attack percent and attack percent, super slow, 100, 200. You know, these are not crazy stats, guys. These are not crazy stats. I don't have crazy gear. Like, yes, this is a lot of attack for a Senacia, okay? But it's not a lot of crit damage to go along with it, okay? So probably my attack should be lower and I should have focused on crit damage. And then Oboro is the same way, except I never got around to leveling up her attack percentage boots because I did not have the silver to do so. In fact, I'm going to look for HP percent with crit rate. What do we have here or here? That would be exactly the same, but she would lose her accuracy. So what if I did this? Then she would lose a lot of crit rate. I don't think I have a lot of options here unless I brought in a perception set, which is fine, but I will have to worry about re-gearing that at a later time, okay? So, one other final note. I have her A1 booked. I'm not sure if that's necessary. I honestly think it'd be better if it was not booked. And again, so that it's a lower chance to hit that decreased defense at the beginning of the fight. Another way to do that would maybe be lower her accuracy so it doesn't proc as much. But those are the builds. I feel like I did not do this. Maybe I did. And you can see I was not able to get 100% crit rate. I only got to 95. But she only has 2,700. Or 2,700. 27,000. Whereas Senacia has 33. And Senacia has 28. I don't know. Oboro, maybe it's her defense that's so low. Yeah, that's why. Her defense is crazy low, whereas the Senacias are much higher defense. Even the Geo is much higher defense. But these specific champions don't matter. It's just that they have to have an AoE A1. Okay, so I feel like I could have even used Bad L here, which may have been a better option, although I was always concerned about them stealing the continuous heals. But next time I'm going to try and use Bad L because I feel like with his A1, as long as I can switch his masteries also to deterrence, and get that build working, I feel like that will be another viable option. Maybe in place of Geo. Maybe in place of Geo. So, what do you think of this build? Was this informative to you? And let me know how you're doing on the Hydra. Thank you so much for watching. This is MtgJedi. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you guys in the next one.